Yes, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, tankers of Blitz Universe to the channel. We're nearly to the end of Low Tier Lows week. As you can see, we're at episode 6 currently, which means there's still one more to come, which will then be episode 7. And this video is pretty much low tier, maybe less lows, but it is a lower tier. It is newish, quote unquote, newish players. We're looking at Ivory Titan here, -EU or _EU, because he made a new account on the EU server, and that means that he has a low battle count. He has only got a tank without any camouflage. He can only use AP ammo, as you can see, and he's fighting bots. And these bots, they come in all sorts and versions. They usually drive the same tank, but they are pretty much programmed to run a certain route, and they will then sit, and if somebody is around them, they mostly stop, and they will turn their turrets around, and they will keep turning the hull from time to time together with the turret. And it's like this Panzer 35T sitting over there. And you might start thinking, oh, there's 80 hit points left. Let's try it again. Let's shoot him. Here we go, and then my teammate will finish off. But it's lower tiers, so you have to do it all yourself, and then bounce on the tracks. But Ivory Titan here gets the kill on, who is it, Audionautix. He gets the kill, and this guy, this bot in the PT2 he's an experienced bot, but he has not been able to drive a little bit more. And you can see once Ivory gets driving again, the bot suddenly surges into action as well. And there are, of course, players who now keep re-rolling and keep making new accounts to have really high win rates, because that's what you can do against bots. If you have played a few games on Fort Despair, on Mines, etc., you know where these tanks will go and what they will do. And you can see this bot in the 14 TP doing exactly what I said. He's just turning the turret. He is shooting HE by the looks of it, or at least some really low penetration value ammunition. Yeah, that's Trooper 2015. I featured him in my free-to-play video as well. Trooper 2015 is a very experienced bot, but he does not know where to aim. He only aims center mass, and that means he will bounce a lot. But luckily for Ivory, shoot that guy. Shoot, no, shoot, don't. What are you doing, mate? Shoot the one-shot Steward. That's better, because there's bots that seem to have low penetration value guns, so you will bounce if you are a new player, and then you will feel very experienced and very capable and able to play the game. But these bots also have the tendency to kind of stop shooting once you back off, and if there's somebody else fairly close, then yeah, you can just easily shoot them and kill them. And that guy in the M2 Light was not a bot. Raptor X _2015 is, and this guy is a bot as well. You can see he is, I don't know, programmed to just sit there, and basically his program ended. I've shown you on the free-to-play videos on Snap, Hero Accurate, and there's bots who drive around in Fort Despair and they end up in practically the same position. I've had them 2 times, and they were driving, and after 3 minutes the program just sort of stops, and if the games then keep going on until after 3 or 4 minutes, they just sit there. And if you come close, if you come within a certain range, they will start shooting you, because that's how they are programmed. But other than that, they're fairly easy to take out. They are fairly easy to take out. Which, of course, is good, because that allows new players to be fighting against bots that actually do something. I've played on the test server before, on all test servers, and if you would go find really old update videos, like 3.7 or 3.8, then you can see that some of these bots were just really stupid. They would start driving right away and just get hooked and locked up on walls, etc. They weren't like that cruiser bot who was just sort of turning around at least a little bit and who's now surging forward into the line of fire. And this, I don't know if it's a bot, it looks like a bot. Yeah, FC LT35 thing. But it is what it is. You have these things. Oh, it was an LTTZ38. It is what it is. And it's people who make new accounts, and we're looking at the real Crowclaw over here, who started a new account who has been a regular subscriber to the channel, and he said, well, I have a really low win rate account with quite a few battles done, and I just wanted to see what I could do if I would start a new account with all the knowledge, with all the skills there, with everything you've shown me on the channel, on your YouTube channel, on your videos. I just wanted to see what I could do there. And well, it's a good thing that he learned something from it. I'm not too keen, to be honest. I'm going to be fair with you, fair and square. I'm not too keen on re-rollers that would get into tier 1 or tier 2 and then get I don't know, 80% win rate or something like that. And then they will then just buy higher tier premium tanks, maybe even those tier 9 or tier 10 premium tanks get really monstrous average damage win rates. And I actually think that that's something you can do too. I mean, if you want to and if you must, then by all means. But sometimes these players then go into tiers 6, 7 or 8 maybe, and they run into players with new accounts. And then there's just a talk, oh, noob, you suck in your tank, why can't you not shoot, yada yada blah blah. I mean, yes, there are players who know the maps, like you do with your shiny new tier 9 premium tank, and there are players who are really actually new players who have just downloaded the game, have no clue what is happening. They don't really know yet that the light bulb only emerges 3 seconds after you've been spotted, that it is a good thing that you can drive around and turn the turret and the hull at the same time. That's basic stuff. There are even people who did not realize that the red lines you see, that these are gun constraints for elevation and depression. We had RYK Sebastino, who aced that cruiser tank on mines, and well, he's an experienced player in battle count at least. And he said, well, I didn't know I could reload. I played so many games and I did not know I could reload my magazine. And that's the thing. I mean, looking at the real Croaky here, as sad, and he's doing a good job here, shooting this guy straight through the front, because the frontal part of a tank is really well armored, so you can shoot him right in the face in the gun mantlet, no problem whatsoever, and you will penetrate. And this has to be a bot. I mean, he's just sitting there, he's shooting tanks in the cap circle, and he has cleared him now, as you can see, Keller Max XX3. And can he get kill number 6? Because I need a captain for victory. Shoot the Panzer once. Yes, there we go. Yeah, he's a one shot. Stop, please. Come here, you. Oh yeah, they've left the cap. Because it's no cap, kill all. That's good. There we go, kill all. Thank you very much. Player underscore number thing is down. The real crook in the M2 Light gets 6 kills. Nearly Rosenia's medal as well. And he does get an ace. I mean, Ivory Titan did get one. He thought he had aced it, but you get less experience from killing those bots, it seems. And well, the real Croaker killed top tier tanks as well, which helps in getting aces. And then we have this one, Ferris 25AA. And I've left out the loading screen because this is a lengthy video. But mind you, that guy over there in the BT2, he is platooned with a dude in a steward, I think. And there's 2 platoons on greens as well. And that means that these most certainly are not bots. Bots don't platoon. Bots are just regular players and they have a name underscore 2015 9 out of 10 times. This Ficus Mark F for Ficus. He died, he was not a bot. But you can see that if you are in a platoon, and if you are experienced, then you can just start ruffle stomping the enemy. Because there are regular schmoes and new players who start platooning. Sometimes they actually fail platoon, which is really stupid for wargaming. If you want to make it better for new players to have a better gaming experience, as you said in update 5.5 and in update 5.12, I think, then please remove the possibility of fail tuning. It is... The matchmaker has this thingy where they match up platoons with platoons, which is good. I mean, if you have a platoon on greens, you should have a platoon on reds. But they also have it tweaked in such a way that if there's a fail tune on greens, which is a lower tier tank platooned up with a high tier tank, that they often try to find a matching fail tune on Reds as well. And if you then know that, and if you are a scrub, and then you can take advantage of that. And I've seen players with really low battle count and monstrous damage numbers and monstrous win rate who were actually trying to, who were making fail tunes deliberately to be sure of a fail tune on Reds. And if you are then an how did that one bounce? Anyways, if you are an experienced player and if you're ruffle stomping the enemy, then I think it's really poor form to really fail tune and then think that you're really good. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's sort of, it's abusing the game mechanics, and it's abusing the system that is behind the matchmaking, because you know how it works, and then you will fail tune, and you will know you will get matched up with a fail tune as well. And yeah, Ferris now has to keep driving. I've sped it up a little bit because it's just driving around. But back to the fail tuning thing. I hope Wargaming can change that, because I think it is stupid to make a better new player experience, as they've called it, and then allow fail tuning to be there, and then match up fail tunes with fail tunes. Then you get players with 80k battles combined against players with 4k battles combined. How's that fair? We know all the maps, they know all the lines of sight, etc., and the tanks and reloads. It's just not fair. But hey ho. Back to this game. Ferris asked the enemy, can you say it in English please? And they said, river, fuck! And Ferris says, oh well, okay, no problem whatsoever, I'll suck, I'll just drive off this cliff and... Please don't. He lost 30 hit points in the process. Well, it should be all good, shouldn't it? I mean, rivers suck, there's just one tank left. He's probably AFK. Oh, there he is. Let's shoot him. Yes, there we go. Oh, he's not AFK! He's not AFK. And on average, this tank does about 30 to 40 damage. And how many hit points has Ferris lost after diving down? 30 hit points! And it should be 20. Oh well, should be all fine now. No worries, just... That guy seems to be somewhat AFK, or just shoot him. Let's shoot him. Shoot his right. Right, let's track him in place. Aim just a little bit higher. Shoot him through the hull now, and then... No, track him again! Right, next one, just a little bit higher. This again. Oh, this one then. Here we go, yes! Suchen uns ein neues Ziel, ja, aber es gibt keine Ziele mehr zu errichten. Ja, super toll. First gets a Columnus medal, as you can see, on the Panzerjäger 1. That little tank destroyer, and this concludes Load Your Lols episode 6. I'll catch you all in the next video. Cheers, happy tanking.